Salutations to Dr. Asong and our fellow classmates. My name is Aisha Nisa, and me and my colleagues Zulfikar and Haikal will be presenting the differences of cultural depictions in mass media between Southeast Asian countries and Western United States of America. Culture refers to a community of people's characteristics and awareness, which includes language, faith, cuisine, social activities, music, as well as the arts. Culture can also be characterized as socially learned mutual patterns of behavior and experiences, cognitive constructs, and understanding. It can be thought of as the creation of a group identity fueled by social patterns that are specific to the group. Having a cultural identity enables a person to feel a sense of belonging. It is a prideful feeling for a person to see their culture being depicted in the mass media. It will make them feel proud when the rest of the world learns of their own culture, be it in bits and pieces. Cultures are also prevalent in our lives that some cultures go to war with each other in order to justify their beliefs of their own culture. However, nowadays, thanks to the internet, most cultural beliefs are more accepted now more than ever. Although there are still a lot of things that different cultures do differently, even if the internet and the simplicity of communication is making us more homogeneous. Culture helps bring people together, but can also cause differences among people due to the lack of knowledge and behavior understanding between one another. And now I will pass to my colleague Haikal.
Now I will explain the difference in Southeast Asian media depiction and the difference in Western media and how their depiction. Uh, in Southeast Asian media, the difference can be seen in our very own homegrown movies and TV shows. Most of our own TV shows and all of our movies more has more humility that is seen in these movies, and more familial bonding and more familial lessons, especially the fact that we are more concerned on the fact that the family has to has to has to survive, and the fact that familial importance is very important since our depiction can be is due to the fact that we are influenced by our very own Eastern philosophy. And if you see this in a Western media, it is usually very stereotypical by the fact that they in most media they depict Southeast Asian as more of an honor-based society, too much on honor, and not too much on and not too much on our familial ties and how we see ourselves, how we depict ourselves in our more Eastern view of in our more Eastern philosophy of the world. However, we also don't depict the Western in a fair way. In our very own media, we depict, especially the Westerners or especially the Mat Saleh in our media, are usually depicted as stereotypical villains in this area. We depict them as self-indulged billionaires or the villain of the story that tries to destroy the familial ties because of corporate greed, because that's the way we've seen them, due to the fact that they are more individualistic in their ideas and more freedom based. That's why in Western media, in which case since they revere freedom and they revere the idea of individuality, that's why in their movies, in their culture, sad person is a lone man or a lone woman that can do anything. Sad person is the chosen one, or the one that has the ability to change the people, and due to his own effort, he managed to change the world. That's the individualistic ideas that they can see. That's the main idea, that how they can see. But however, their depiction of us, as I mentioned before, are a bit more bastardized, and it's more seen as honor-based. It's seen more. They try to depict them more in the individualistic sense of their own view in the Southeast Asian perspective, in which, in my opinion, does not work. That's my part. After this, I'll send it to Zulfikar, who will explain the meta-analysis.
Now, according to several studies on In the study of both cultures, a meta-analysis of studies find that there is a connection between transmitted mass media of the representation of truth and the public perception towards it. In simpler terms, what you represent within the media is what the public perceive to be as the truth. Now, a lot of these often take it as face value because why why not why not show what's there? Why bother showing it at all? The reason why is that there are some facts within the media, but however, some people often twist the facts into a more grandiose or ridiculous ideas, which some people might find entertaining or more shocking, in which they don't understand. So, so this is actually works in both countries. Both countries are a lot more complicated than perceived in the media, whether it be locally or internationally. Both have positive and negative representations of what it is of both countries. Both have positive and negative stereotypes to one another, and both are often getting the information from very unreliable sources. This can lead to very harmful ideas which can be detrimental for both countries. Now I'll give it to Asha to explain further what this means.
Thank you, Zol. I will be explaining about the findings and analysis. So, this study found that both sides of the countries have inaccurate and negative portrayals of other cultures. The negative portrayals are often rooted in racist teachings from different eras that unfortunately still lingers today. This has caused division and strife between the people regarding the portrayal of race and culture that has affected so many internationally. These ideas and teachings have lasting, harmful effects to the community that have led to harm on connecting with people of other cultures. Major media outlets still abide by these ideas, albeit implicitly, but still have lingering effects on the portrayal of different cultures. It's important to consider that the USA's harmful depictions of Southeastern countries' cultures may be due to the lack of understanding. That is why their portrayal tends to be stereotypical. Learning about the cultural differences between Southeast Asia and the West is a continuing journey of growth for every party. As for how things are with knowledge, we would always find something new to learn about other cultures as much as them learning new things about us. In the end, it's all about being open to new knowledge and always making space to wrap our heads around realities that may seem surprising to us at first. Because we may be surprised with the truth, but the truth that may seem alienating to us is in fact a norm to the people on the other side of the world. Same goes for them when learning about us. We have to believe that it's not their fault for not being more conscious about our culture. It's only fair to consider that it's because no one teaches them the things that they need to know. In this screen age, there is no reason for us to not connect with people from the rest of the world and enlighten each other about our own cultures. The connection may serve as a basis for us to start raising awareness about the inaccuracies of cultures in mass media. From there, things can only go right should we let it. And now I'll pass it back to Zulfikar to conclude.
So what do we learn from this? We learn that society should not rely on media to meet their needs and on what is representation, especially portrayals of people or cultures in different countries. In this era of divisiveness, we is often due to misunderstandings and perceived negative stereotypes or preconceptions. We, with the ideas and advance and of information at our fingertips, we can learn about other people. We can meet other people. We should learn about other people because through this we have greater understanding and greater humility of one another. We can even respect for one another. That's why representation is needed more than ever, especially positive portrayals and representation by people who are from the backgrounds they are supposed to, not the ones that they perceive to be. To that end, we should all learn about one another so we can all understand and love one another. Thank you. I hope you understand and learn from this.